This is me 1 year ago. This is me 4 months ago. And here I am today. What happened? You know, I used to get a lot of hate and people were suggesting, I was one step away from death. That caused a lot of reflection. And then I was like, off. Okay, so how did we get here? If you remember, when I started this project, we were trying to evaluate how close we are to being able to stop death. And the way we did that is we looked at all the scientific evidence on what you could do to slow down and reverse aging damage. And one of these therapies is known as caloric restriction, which means if a person like me consumes 2,500 calories a day to maintain the same weight, you'd reduce that. And so my caloric intake was 1,950 calories, substantially less. This caused me to lose a lot of fat, including in my face. So people started comparing me to Tilda Swinton. Now this was about 2 years into the project, and we were pretty ecstatic. The biomarkers we had achieved in me were pretty stunning. Remember, I was 43 years old when I started. I had led a life like poor health habits as a kid, 20 years of running myself into the ground as an entrepreneur, 10 years of chronic depression. I was in a really bad state of health, and in just 2 years' time, we turned it all around. My biomarkers were fantastic. We were excited. But when I went out in public, people were like, wait, is this guy gonna die? So there was a big disconnect between the success we were feeling as a team and the perception. It turns out that facial fat is really important to how someone gauges someone else's youthfulness. The problem was, no matter how good my biomarkers were, they would look at my face and say, that guy's old. So in response, we said, we're going to do Project Babyface. We know that in our youth, we have a lot of facial fat, that over time, it lessens. In fact, in your 20s, you start losing 1% of your collagen every year. So by the time you're 80 years old, you've lost 75% of what you had in your early 20s. We wondered, could I rejuvenate my face so I had much more volume? It's endless fun. I love every second of it. Now that is a hard problem. You probably are aware that people use things like fillers to compensate for the loss of volume. It's why a face can look plump and round, but it's just filler. It's just masking the problem. We wanted to figure out if we could use legitimate rejuvenation technologies to restore volume in my face. There are 5 things I did to restore volume in my face. The first thing I did is Sculptra, which is a biostimulator. It's injected into certain regions of the face. For example, the temples, right around the mouth, through here. It's designed to allow your body to naturally produce collagen. So instead of putting filler in the face, which just expands in volume, you're getting actual collagen production. My protocol has been doing 2 vials every 6 months. I think the company recommends 1 per year, so I've exceeded what they're recommending. Also, I was compensating from a place of pretty serious deficit, not starting as a maintenance mode of 1 vial per year at say age 28 and going through time. I didn't do any until I was age 46 and I'd lost a lot of weight. So I've been trying to play a little catch up, but Sculptra is first.